Hey everyone, welcome to Esports Go. I'm Justin Gillerman.
And I'm Matt Brown. We begin with a look back at the big match in the Overwatch League yesterday. The Dynasty and Valiant were two of the better teams that found themselves outside of the playoff picture in Stage 1. Here's how they kicked off Stage 2. We begin on Volskaya Industries. The Dynasty are on the attack first, and they dive hard onto the first point and take out the Valiant one by one to take point A. The second point defense by the Valiant is strong though. The Valiant toss out a Diva Bomb to delay the push further, and Fleta goes for an insane Reaper Death Blossom, but he is stopped by the fists of the Monkey, who tosses him away from the point. It comes down to an overtime hold. The Valiant try to body the Dynasty off the point, but their damage is too high. The Dynasty take point B. The Valiant need a strong run to get extra time in extra rounds. Their attack gets off the wrong foot though. They are filtered into a small room, and the Dynasty gets a full team wipe on them. The Dynasty were performing near 100% today. Plays from Ryu Jae-hong proved that, where he 1v1s this sneaky Tracer behind the point. The Valiant make one last ditch effort on the point, but they are quickly taken out. With only the Scientists remaining, they aren't able to capture the point. And the Dynasty win this map, and the next three, they secure the 4-0 sweep over the Valiant. Wow, what a dominant performance by the Dynasty to kick off Stage 2. Justin, it seemed like they were playing with a chip on their shoulder, which they totally have the right to do. If they keep this up, they could catapult right back to the top where everyone thought they'd be at the start of the year.
Yeah, wow, this was a statement to say the least. They start the second stage pretty hot for the Dynasty. All those things that were said about them coming into the league, they reigned true today. They were fast, ult used at the right time, easily adjusted to the new meta. And as far as the Valiant, they should still be a top-tier team in this league, especially in Stage 2. Might just have to take some time readjusting, trying to find a way to attack this second stage without teams knowing or anticipating what they are going to do. In the last matchup of Wednesday, we have two teams who are also ready for Stage 2 to begin. With the reinforcements on the way, could the Shock get an early win in Stage 2, or could the Gladiators strengthen their shield in Week 1? Shock, Gladiators, let's go. We're heading to Map 3, Kings Row, where the Gladiators are up 2 maps. The Shock find themselves in a must-win situation if they hope to take the victory today. The Gladiators are on attack first, and they dive onto the first point and bully the Shock off the point. They easily take it and start pushing the payload. Shift4 sneaks behind the Shock, taking out Sleepy. He charges into the Shock, landing a sticky bomb on Nomi. The Gladiators take this victory and push it through the second point. The Gladiators push the Shock all the way into their spawns. They get nice picks and zone them out well enough to take an easy ride to the end of the round. The Shock need a perfect performance if they hope to win this map. Nomi leads the charge and lays down the law on Reinhardt. The stunned Gladiators are taken out, and the Shock finally gain the first point. The Shock's push is not smooth. Hydration demecks the Shock's Diva, and Baby Bay is taken out. These delays push back the Shock all the way into overtime. In a last-ditch effort, the Gladiators show off their stalwart defense. Hydration takes out the backline with the Riptide, and Fissure stuns the remaining Shock members. The Shock lose map 3 and go on to lose map 4. The Gladiators take a 4-0 victory. So this one was pretty much all Gladiators all the time. Right out of the gate, it seemed like it was going to be a close one, but it just felt like the Shock, they were on the verge of something. They just couldn't get over that hill. LA had an answer for pretty much everything that the Shock did. They looked very much improved from their later games in Stage 1.
Yeah, LA needed this one, to be honest. They got off to a hot start and then fizzled out at the end of Stage 1. So we'll see if they can stay strong and stick together as a team during gameplay. And the Shock are still treading water until their reinforcements come in a few weeks. Yep, Sinatra, look out. So we'll have to play the waiting game with them as well. Next up, we got a matchup between a couple of teams hoping to make a comeback in the new stage. It's the Fuel and the Dragons. We start the highlight out on Map 2, Nepal. The Fuel are about to control the point first, but Undead leads the Dragons in a charge to take it for themselves. The Fuel answer back on the back of Effect as he takes out the remaining Dragons defenders to regain the point. The Fuel managed to hold off the point all the way to 99, where the Dragons look as though they might be able to retake the point. AKM uses his Soldier ult and mows down the competition, securing the round win for the Fuel. Now, in round 2, AKM and the Fuel hold the point first. He peppers down the Dragons from above, but the Dragons grab the point out from under him. Later on, they desperately try to maintain control of the point, but the dive from the Fuel is too strong and they gain it back. The end of the round is close, with the Dragons skirting around the point, looking for a way in. They are not paying attention to the time remaining though, and no one is on the point to bring it to overtime, and the Fuel win the map. They end up taking a 3-1 victory over the Shanghai Dragons. Okay, so the Fuel got that first W out of the way, so now they can really hone in on what makes them click. That chemistry just wasn't there in stage 1, so more of these wins will be an encouraging sign. Shanghai put up a good fight after halftime, and this team still looks like they're getting better as the weeks pass.
Yeah, this one seemed fairly easy for the Fuel through the first 2 maps, playing fast, communicating well, looking like a new Fuel team from stage 1, but the Dragons show that they are much improved and really, in my opinion, surprised the Fuel on Hollywood, showing those flashes we talked about them having in stage 1, but the Fuel regrouped, played more well-rounded game, communicating well, not taking risk, ults used when it called for it, not necessarily during the big fights, and now they start stage 1 off with a win.
Yeah.
Now for my mom's favorite segment, the heroes and zeros. My hero has to be Fleta of the Seoul Dynasty. He showed up to play yesterday. He showed to the world that he's ready to play and that the Seoul Dynasty are back and ready to win again in stage 2.
Speaking of showing up, the 2 new offensive players from the Dallas Fuel, AKM and Rascal, they came, they saw, they dominated, although it was against a still struggling Shanghai Dragons team. But no matter, they still gave us a little taste of what's to come for the Fuel.
Now bringing it back down to the 0, the San Francisco Shock are playing for pride on map 4 and pushing the payload down the road. It's an overtime and communication seems to be lacking as they all jump off the payload, leaving no one behind to keep the round going, and they lose the map. I don't think that's what you want to do.
No, that's not what any of us want, especially for you to leave while we take this quick break. Stay with us right here. It's Esports Go.
Welcome back to Esports Go. On February 27th and 28th, a blast from the past will be highlighted on Twitch. A decade and a half since its original release, Warcraft III is back with an invitational next week. 12 former and current Warcraft III players will be taking the stage in Southern California. Most of the events are special and goofy matches with free-for-all and 4v4 specifically listed. The tournament announcement also came with balance changes for the game. They range from the technical to actual balance changes. Every hero in the game had their attack speed buffed, but you can see a full list of changes on the Blizzard general forums. Most people expect this tournament to lead to the reveal of a remastered Warcraft 3 game release. StarCraft just recently had their own remaster release, so it is not too far-fetched to expect this announcement during the Invitational.
League of Legends has named a new competitive region. The Vietnam Championship Series will become the 14th region that has an opportunity at Worlds and other international events. Vietnam had been a part of the Garena Premier League in Southeast Asia, but its dominance has prompted officials to have it be a league of its own. In a way, this is an opportunity for the rest of the countries in the GPL to step up into the world limelight as an international bid. In Rift Rivals, Vietnam will be grouped with Turkey and the Russian Commonwealth to keep clusters at no more than 3. MSI is now a 14-team tournament, and Worlds will fill in what used to be an extra play-in spot with the Vietnam representative. Look for the newly minted VCL to burst onto the scene and be one of the most competitive regions on the planet.
Newzoo's annual global esports report is out, and let's just say business is booming. The esports industry raked in $655 million in 2017, which was under the Newzoo projection. However, it was an astounding 33% year-over-year growth for the ever-expanding industry. The projection for 2018? Oh, just a whopping $906 million globally, with plans to reach $1.65 billion, yes, billion dollars by 2021. All this is saying is that esports is growing, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. And with traditional sports franchises slowly joining the fray, esports is here to stay.
All right, coming up after the break, we'll preview today's Overwatch League matches. Stay right here. You're watching The Go.
Welcome back. This is The Go. Let's take a look at today's Overwatch League matches. In our first matchup of the day, we have our Stage 1 champions, the London Spitfire, against the team they beat to get into the finals, the Houston Outlaws. Both teams were playing their best Overwatch going into Stage 2. So it'll be interesting to see which team can start off with a win under their belt. Either way, this is going to be a good one and a rather important one right away.
Yeah, let's see if they can both carry the momentum over from a couple of weeks ago. For Houston, they did not have a good start at the beginning of the year, so they should come out of the gates firing in this one. London was the super hot team that just really stole Stage 1 championship. This match will prove if they have what it takes to do it again in Stage 2. After that match, it will be the New York Excelsior taking on the Florida Mayhem. Gosh, New York has to be mad after seeing the Stage 1 finals slip away from them. You gotta pick the XL to dominate here, right, Justin?
Well, the New York XL seemed to be everyone's pick to win that Stage 1, but they faltered in the finals, like you said. You know they're just itching to get back out there and prove that they're still the team to beat in this league. Facing off against a Mayhem team looking to put that poor Stage 1 in the past and just wait until they can get their subs. Subs are on the way, Mayhem. Do not worry, they're on the way. Our last matchup of the day might be the most interesting one on the docket. The Uprising were arguably the hottest team in the Overwatch League for the last 3 weeks of Stage 1. Do they keep that momentum going, or can the Fusion put together more consistency in Stage 2, starting with this matchup against Boston?
I say don't sleep on Philly. After seeing the Eagles take home the Lombardi Trophy, you have to think that the Fusion can play some inspired matches and grab the Stage 2 title. Of course, Robert Kraft and the Uprising might have an agenda to avenge the Patriots, as this could become a super matchup. You get that?
I get it. Nice.
Yeah, thanks. All right, enjoy the matches today. And while you're at it, don't forget to browse our website, challengemedia.tv, for all your gaming news.
Also, check us out and follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll be here all week with your news and highlights. Thanks for watching Esports Go. We'll see you next time.